Right, so when I went to the model railway exhibition today, I came back with a lock of hair, which is absolutely bizarre. So you cut this into small sections and fluff it all out, put it onto the tree armatures, which you build out of this steel flexible wire. You can manipulate it and make some really nice trees out of this. Really realistic ones. And you can mix up this filler, which makes up the bark. You brush it on, mix it to a paste, brush it onto the tree armature. This dries really nice, apparently. The guy who owns this company, he told me how to do it, so I'm going to have a go anyway. And this is like a blossom effect, which you put on. I'm just going to look into doing a couple of trees. I've always wanted to make some trees like this, but the really detailed ones. A bit time consuming, but anyway, something different. Thought I'd give the guy a bit of custom because he don't live too far from where I live, so nice little company there. That's the first batch of items I bought. The other batch of items are some powders, rust and corrosion powders in pretty big jars actually. So you can mix these into bases for paints or polishes, lacquers, or you can just brush it on. There's various different ways to use that, so I thought I'll give them a go. Some nice rust colours there to mix up. Bought some industrial super glue, Power Bond, another unique company. You've got the long life. It's quite liquefied, this industrial super glue. You can see it shake around in the can. It's not like normal super glue, so it doesn't clog up. It lasts a long time in the container. And then you've got the bonding powder, which you can put over the top to make it even more durable. If you're doing a flexible fiberglass or plastic repair, you use the powder activator with the Power Bond, and that's for doing some really awkward, unique repairs. And then you get a glue remover as well if you've got it in areas you don't want. It's a product which I'm going to use at work and obviously from your model railway in certain areas as well. So that's something else quite nice. I bought some Tamiya, really micro cleaners. And I'm going to use these for cleaning the frogs on railway tracks and various other items on trains. Really tiny then. So there's 3 other products I bought. Let's get to the next set. Yeah, the next thing I bought from the show, or items, were these really nice stacks of boxes. I think you can turn these around either way. Not sure what they're supposed to resemble. I'm not 100%. He did tell me, I can't remember. This is from a company called Bad Loads Cottage Industry. Only a one-man band who makes these up, and he makes them up and he gives the money back to part of it back to certain organisations, etc. And he does some really nice loads. So I bought this bucket, like off a machine that's on the wooden base. I think this one's 3D printed. Really nice detail on that. I think it's got a wash on it as well. It does loads of various different types of loads, and depending on what you want depends on the price. I've got this beautiful ship propeller as well. I wish I bought more of these because they look really nice. I think that was about £4, which you can't complain. And I got these steel coils, fine wire wrapped round. You can probably make these yourself, but I thought I'd give the guy some custom, so I bought a few of these. You could rust them up, or just have them as general loads, like on the Roble there. Really nice. These are the other loads I've got, which are from a German company called Leigh. They're absolutely fantastic. They just look so good. Hand weathered. They're all handmade, these. Shown them in the past. There's quite a few different variations. And the U-boat, the mini U-boat, I imported quite a lot of these into the UK and sold them on eBay. And that's the last one I've got. That pipe. You can see the tiny chains on there and all the markings on the side. Got a tiger tank there, salvage one. All the spare parts. They're just really nice. I do like wagon loads of variation. So these are the new items I bought. That's another thing. And the other item I bought was a Class 145 electric loco from Fleischmann. This is a 2012 model, never used. It's got some beautiful print work on the side. 125th anniversary of Fleischmann in 2012. I've got a Lock Sound 5 decoder to go in this. I can't put sound in this one because there's not enough space because of the way it's designed on the inside. I'll just get that out of the box. So there we go, that's one side. These locomotives are virtually indestructible. They're absolutely stunningly well made. All-wheel drive. Prop shafts going either side from the motor, which is in the sensor. It's just a really well designed loco. And yeah. It's got the Valero, sorry. 407 ice train. It's got an old-fashioned sports car in the middle there, and it's got a ship at one end, and it's all sort of zooms, sort of blends into each other. And it's got 1887 at one end, 2012 at the other. It's just really, really nice. I've been after that model for a long time. I'll spin it around. Spin it around, you've got a racing car zooming off. Got a flying boat in the centre. 2012 on the other side. Steam loco. Yeah, it's just nice, really nice. Made in Germany, this model. Yeah, the final item I bought was a Plux 16 function only decoder. Train-o-matic. Bought this from Coastal DCC, which I met up with a guy who owns a company there. Never met him before, bought loads of stuff off him over the years, but it's nice to meet up with someone who you've never actually seen in person, but spoke to on the phone, emailed, etc. over the years. Real nice guy, brilliant shop. That's where I get all my ESU decoders from, Coastal DCC. Right, so I think what I'll do is just show how to take on this particular railjet. You got your typical standard NEM couplings with a special coupling bar to connect each coach. These are full scale 187 scale length coaches. To get into these, you just basically use your fingernails or plastic cards. What I do is I tip it that way, just hold along, start from the back and work your way forward. So it's nice and easy, and it just pops off. The body just pops off very easily, and you've got light prisms there. When you get inside, you can see the detail on the inside. It's quite nice. The lighting, the dividers, etc. That's the chip I installed. It's a direct fit. I think there's an ESU version, but the ESU version, I'm sure it's a Plux 22 with a Plux 16 adapter, and that might not. I'm pretty sure it won't go into this tight space here. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, I went for a direct fit, you know, effects decoder, and the Trainer-matic one works very nice. Yeah, that's the version I bought. Plug 16 direct fit, and 18 quid I paid for that. More than happy. And then to put it back, you just got to be careful, making sure you line up the front first. Very carefully line up the front. Got to make sure both sides are lined up correctly. It just pops on basically like that. You just got to put the front in first and then follow up the back. Got to make sure all the side goes into the lower fairing correctly, and it just clips in like that. So if you don't get it in properly, you'll see a bit of a bulge on the plastic on the edge, but it goes together really nice. So that is all back to how it should be now. Right, so it's all fitted. I programmed the chip to be on a consist address, so the control car is on a different address to the loco at the other end. That's how I've done it, and then you can adjust the direction of travel on the control car, on the consist, so you get the direction of the lighting correct. So all done there. Right, I've just decided to fit the model out of a Lockpilot Micro, so that fits in there quite nice, tucked away in there. The standard ESU chips and lens chips are just a tad too wide, and it pushes the board up slightly. It just about goes in with a squeeze, but if that PCB pushes up a bit, then the body won't go on properly. It's really awkward. This loco is designed to take originally a Hewlett-Brock digital chip, which went in perfectly, the original chip. But anyway, it's in there now, it's working. And I had to cut off one side of the interface plug because it's stuck out just a little bit too far, because it goes in wires on the edge, which is a bit strange. If you don't have the space on the edge here, the body will just not go on at all, because it's got a chamfered body. It's got an angled body on the top, and it's a really snug fit inside. So it's quite an awkward loco to fit and to find a chip for this. Another thing you got to do, because it uses incandescent bulbs on this version, is when you put the chip in, you've got to drop down the voltage on the chip to about just over halfway on the scale. I think I dropped it down to 19 for each bulb. If you don't, then what happens is it's the thermal insulation you can see inside there, like an alloy strip. If that gets too hot, then it'll slightly disfigure the roof on the plastic, because those bulbs are really close to the plastic. And if you have them on full power with a digital chip, it can over time disfigure the body, the plastic body. So you've got to be careful there. Anyone who's fitting one of these locos out, but like I say, it is a really brilliant loco. It's really, really heavy. It's immense, unbelievable heavy. It's all die-cast chassis inside there, lots of ballast weight, and it's really well done. The bogies are designed to unscrew there, and there's a pin. There's like a shaft pin that pulls out, and you can take the bogies off that easy, and to do maintenance, etc. It's a really well made loco, and of course it can take the power through the pantographs as well, and that brings the power down through inside there onto the PCB, so it has actually got proper working pantographs like all Fleischmann electric locos and the Roco ones as well. It's really good. Even got a nice driver in there, probably can't see. It's got a nicely detailed driver. That's one thing they stopped doing on these modern locos. A lot of them, they don't tend to put the drivers in there anymore. It's a bit quite annoying. Like for example that one, the last loco I got, there's no driver in it. It's just that little bit of extra realism. Makes all the difference. But anyway, it's all working. Back to square one. With this crane, ordered the spare part, PCB board. The one that was sent out to me from Germany is installed. It doesn't work. It looks like it had been messed around with parts, taken off the board and reinstalled. That's the original PCB. So both don't work. And yeah, email the company. They were helpful at first, and then they just started ignoring my emails. And I said the part doesn't work. It looks like it's been messed around with. It doesn't look even. It's not even a brand new part they sent out. So they started ignoring my emails. So I just opened a case with PayPal and sent all the evidence, and I got refunded within about 48 hours from PayPal. They accepted the refund, so I got refunded the post and the price of the part, so that's good. But I'm back to square one with this now. Not sure what to do next. Try and get a a chip that can control 3 motors, or I don't know. I'm just gonna have to see what to do with it next. That crane. So that's that. Other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching.